Munster and the intermediate winners of Connacht to go head-to-head. It's Upperchurch Drombane versus Tooreen, and let's let battle commence here in Park on Croquet, and it is immediately midfield ball won by number 17 John Cassidy. Now a melee occurs, just as it did at the very start of our opening game here in headquarters, right on the halfway line. It is Upperchurch Drombane in the yellow and black, Tooreen in the blue, playing from the Dalton stand side to the Hill 16 side, from right to left as you sit in the Hogan, and Upperchurch Drombane the opposite. Church now have the ball forward and is immediately fired into their full forward line. It is Paul Ryan sporting the green helmet who has it on his right hand side, and that is a thunderous point to start the contest here, and an early score, first of the day, goes to, apologies, Paul Shanahan, so the wing forward, not the corner forward on that side. The two Shanahans will be running the left-hand side flank, but found himself on the opposite there. Bobby Douglas plays long ball forward, finds the 45-metre line, and it's got to be scooped up by Tooreen. Goes out of play off the hurl of Liam Lavin. 4 points in the semi-final for Liam Lavin. It was the fabulous win over St Gabriel's. They cruised through that one, 321 to 8 points. The final score there, it sounds a lot easier than it was potentially. Of course, 2023 rings through Tooreen in Mayo. They lost by 2 points here to Monaleen of Limerick, and they face the Munster champions once again, and will be looking to go one better, but it was the Black and Amber who won earlier in the form of Kilbrittain, and now it is Upperchurch who have the ball on the right-hand side, but intercepted by Owen Delaney. 7 points in the semi-final for him. It's now found the corner forward, the prolific Liam Lavin. Short, stocky, speedy. It's given back, however, to the wing forward, and the ball is lofted in, and it is an immediately fantastic claim by Keith Ryan of Church, and they now head forward. But the referee has blown the whistle, and that is going to be a foul, I think, here to... No, it's not a foul. It is an injured player down in the box, and Kenny Feeney has his helmet off and is down grasping a knee of some sort. Kenny Feeney, a Mayo player, made his senior debut back in 2010 in the league. An entrepreneur himself, a director and co-founder of Next Venture, but this is his next adventure here in Croke Park on Saturday evening, and this is not looking good for Kenny Feeney. He's back. No, he looks okay. It is, I think it's a head injury, so I think a couple of paper stitches might be needed for Kenny. Bit of a clash on the back of the head seems to be. Yeah, he jogs over towards the Hogan stand side with medic carrying Hurling helmet. There is no injury to legs or the body.
Tooreen, number 15, Kenny Feeney is replaced by number 18, Fionn Delaney.
Fionn Delaney will come on for Kenny Feeney, the replacement. The ball is already on the other side of the field, and it is Tooreen who will sweep it up. A fantastic ball fired forward there from Upperchurch, but Tooreen now have it, and they get the attack put into motion. No score for Tooreen so far in this game. Only 3 players up inside the attacking quadrant of the field, but they still have the ball in hand. It is now Owen Delaney who fires one from distance, but that is going to drop well short into the box and swiftly into the pouch of Kieran Short, the Upperchurch goalkeeper, sporting a nice grey top here today. And black shorts, not wearing the leggings that we see opted by some goalkeepers. But now the ball is on the total opposite corner, right on the corner of the Davin stand and Hogan stand. And it is Upperchurch Drombane who have the ball in their grasp. Number 11 now, who stumbles, trips, falls, but he's going to try and reclaim the ball into his hand. That is, 22 actually, who has the ball. Of course, Paddy Phelan not starting. That was Tony Corbett, who fires it off the hurl of the Tooreen defender. And that'll go out for a sideline ball. Ball was actually just sat on the sideline, and Tooreen put it out all on their own. Sideline cut taken, very short indeed, and that will be intercepted by Tooreen, but it's bobbled back towards Luke Shannon at the corner forward of Upperchurch. It's popped back over to the green helmet of Paul Shannon, and that was fired at a ferociously tight angle, but it will still sail over the crossbar, and Upperchurch Drombane have their second score in the first 5 minutes, 2 points to nil. Puck out taken, once again won by the Tipperary outfit of Upperchurch, and it's a long-range effort now from corner forward Luke Shannon, and that one will sail over the crossbar. No, it won't, just given flagged wide by the umpire. It was looked straight over the crossbar from my eyes, but that really says everything. Puck out fired forward, and it does now find Tooreen. It is Fergal Boland who is on the ball, and he scored 2 points in the semi-final. 2 of the 21 that Tooreen managed to fire over the black spot that day. Now some nice intricate passing from the Mayo outfit. They're on their own, or they're on the opposite 45-metre line. It's a long shot from Sean Kenny off the right-hand side of his hurl, and a fist pump in the blue shirt and black body warmer of Sean Kenny. He has his first score of the final. Scored free from dead balls in the semi-final. That's ball now played over to number 22, Paddy Phelan, who is playing a defensive role, potentially a sweeper. And there's a vicious challenge put in for Tooreen on Upperchurch Drombane's cornerback Mikey Lavery, who is just progressing into more of the wing-back position on the right-hand side. There is some stitches going on the head of Kenny Feeney, although he looks okay, no concussion or anything, seems to be all with us and ready to get back into action. So there is definitely an assessment going on the sideline by the Tooreen medics. Now, Upperchurch Drombane are going to play the free from the Hogan stand, closer to the Hogan stand sideline, just behind their own 65-metre line. It is a long ball lofted forward by number 6, Gavin Ryan, and that is going to just drift to the right and wide. It was a long-range effort. Very hard to get the accuracy on those, although Gavin Ryan did get 2 in the semi-final, but doesn't get this one, unfortunately. Puck out now to be played by Bobby Douglas of Tooreen, and it is hand pass straight back to him, and he flicks it, and there's some sort of a set piece or some sort of a set play being moved into operation here. The wing-back Joe Boyle has progressed up the field but didn't find the pass. It was Oisin Greeley who played the pass. Might have been looking for Joe Boyle, but instead went long and straight into the grasp of Upperchurch Drombane, who progress into the opposition half. It's another ferocious long-range effort from the Tipperary team. And this time it is another wide ball. 3 wides in fairly close succession. This time it is from the green helmeted player, red grip on the hurley of Colm Ryan. It's another short puck out, hand pass straight back to Bobby Douglas. Potentially a new tactic of Banastor Ray Larkin. And that's a poor long-range effort. It's just about reached Joe Boyle, or Joe Boyle was able to get a flick on it and pass it back to Oisin Greeley. And Greeley is able to advance it forward to Fergal Boland, who's going to have a long-range effort. And this is a game of long-range shooting. It was from just over the halfway line, but drifted to the right and wide once again. So the accuracy not quite there for either of these teams. There was not many wide struck in the earlier junior game, but the shots taken from closer in. So Kenny Feeney has made his way back onto the field of play. Fionn Delaney will make his way back onto the bench. What I'm sure will be coming on in the second half was a substitute in the last game in the semi-final and managed to grab a point. So it is Upperchurch Drombane who have the ball, but they are running the wrong way. It's all recollected from Niall Grant, though, who fires it forward towards the full forward line. It is into the hand of number 13, Pat Ryan. Scored 1-1 from play last day, fires it off his right-hand side, but once again, that's to the left and wide, and the accuracy is not quite there from Upperchurch so far. 8 minutes in, 1 point Tooreen, 2 points Upperchurch, but Upperchurch have fired about 6 or 7 shots at the goalkeeper. A vicious noise off the hurl of Bobby Douglas. Might have been a fissure in the boss of his ash stick, but there is another vicious swipe, and I fear that noise was off the leg of one of the Tooreen players who is down holding his head. Actually, it might have been a hurl to the face of number 9, Sean Kenny, brother of, apologies, brother not on the team, it's Kenny Feeney, that's not how names work. Sean Kenny of Tooreen is okay though, he's getting back up and will be able to continue. Before the semi-final, Sean Kenny's sister got married 24 hours before in Cavan. His father Austin is the first aider who he has just thrown the towel to. He was man of the match in the 2022 county final, and his brother is on the team. I stand corrected to my own correction of my mistake. David Kenny is at a wing-back, starting number 7. Sean Kenny in the midfield and is eyeing up this free. A couple of jabs of the hurley in the air to try and pick his point. of where he's going to fire this ball. He'd like it straight over the goalpost into the back of Hill 16, but we'll see how he goes. The maroon helmet swipes at it, and that is going to be absolutely over the bar. Not quite into Hill 16, but matters not. It is a point. Oh no. It's going to Hawkeye. Is it going to Hawkeye? No, it was given as wide. I thought that was straight over the black spot, but no, not for Sean Kenny. Another wide ball here in this All-Ireland Intermediate semi-final. All-Ireland Intermediate final, apologies. We've just got a Hawkeye advertisement on the big screens here as well, which is quite comedic time. Tooreen have played the ball amongst their defenders, and that is a long-range effort all the way over, and it's eventually hand pass to Bobby Douglas, who's looking to get the play moving here for Tooreen. An authoritative goalkeeper, Bobby Douglas, who has fired a long-distance effort into the box, and it is eventually going to bobble about and try find the wounded head of Kenny Feeney. And Feeney not able to pass it, and that will be won by Upperchurch. It was a beautiful long-range effort by Bobby Douglas, who competed in National Puck Fodder back in 2024. And I'm sure there'll be some long-range efforts by him. That's a beautiful take by the full forward line of Upperchurch Drombane. And the shot is fired, and that one will be straight over the uprights. White flag is raised, and it is a first point for Paul Ryan, who starts in the full forward line. It was a beautiful catch, got his hand over his head, beautifully protected by his hurley. It's the skill that you teach young children. They teach them back in Upperchurch. That was a fabulous point by Paul Ryan. Upperchurch have won the preceding puck out, and they're just tapping it about their own 65-metre line. There was a hurley put to the head of Luke Shannon, but he has just brushed it off, and now there is a high tackle gone in, and that is both the Shannons down on the ground, and a free has been awarded by referee Cayman Flynn. A noise rings around Croke Park from the sellers outside that are trying to put off Luke Shannon. Not the sellers themselves, but you get the gist. Luke Shannon, 7 points in the semi-final, all from dead balls. If you were a betting man, you'd expect this to go straight over the uprights. The yellow slitter flies from the middle of the pitch, and a white flag will be raised for Luke Shannon, and Upperchurch have found themselves in a 3-point lead after 10 minutes. It is Upperchurch 4 points, Tooreen 1. Short puck outplayed once again, and the hand pass back to Bobby Douglas, but Tooreen find themselves in a tricky spot on the Hogan stand sideline, but there is a racing defender up, and the hand pass slightly shoddy, so now it is Upperchurch who race forward, and is that just dragged to the wide? It is. A disappointing effort was just dragged to the right and wide by Conor Fahey, who intercepted a high-speed hand pass, and unfortunately not able to get the point there. Bobby Douglas sends it long once again. And this one has gone well over into the half-forward line on the Cusack stand side, but it is once again going to be mopped up by an Upperchurch player. No, it isn't, and it's found Brian Morley on the right-hand side, just takes an extra step to his right outside of the arc, and that one is another wide ball here. Tooreen only one score from only one score in the game, not just one score from play here in this first half. They have intercepted the puck out though from Kieran Short, the Upperchurch goalkeeper, and it's going to be a longer range effort, but once again not enough power on it. That was an effort from Fergal Boland. Not enough power on it, and will be collected by Kieran Short and fired back down the field to the right-hand side of the pitch. And that is a big challenge put in on the number 5 of Joe Boyle. And Boyle and the Upperchurch players have boxed in the midfielder of Sean Kenny. And Kenny not given a free and has been stripped of the luminous yellow slitter. And there's one man on the ground, another trips over him. Cayman Flynn, the referee, has had enough of this tomfoolery in the middle of the park, and he's decided to blow it up, and he will throw in the ball. But there is an Upperchurch player down on the ground, and that is number 13, Pat Ryan, who I believe is just collecting his thoughts and redoing his helmet straps, wearing a bright yellow Cooper. Not quite the yellow shade of Upperchurch, but the yellow shade maybe of Antrim. That's my closest guess. Anyways, the ball has been thrown back into play, and once again there is a kerfuffle in the middle of the park, but Upperchurch are trying to hand pass their way around it. There was a high hurley put in, but it's a beautiful take by Dermot Grant, who fires it up to the right-hand corner, and that is where he will find number 22, Tony Corbett. Corbett has brought down, though, his opposing man, another man who wasn't in the initial starting 15. It is Tooreen's John Cassidy, and Cassidy has won the free. Now, Bobby Douglas fancies his chances from this one. It is on the opposite. It is on his own 45-metre line. It is just to the left-hand side of his own goal post, left-hand side of the opposition goal post. He doesn't go for the score, fires it long, however, and that is going to find the hand of Tooreen's prominent Shane Boylan. Shane Boylan has been blocked down, though, not able to get the shot off. Goes for the one-handed pick-up with his left hand, the scoop lift. Doesn't get it on his first time, opts for the roll lift and is able to get it. And now it's Liam Lavin with a red helmet who has it on his left-hand side. Doesn't fancy taking it off that left, and Tooreen put a neat few passes together and eventually falls into the palm of Joe Boyle, who fires one from the 45-metre line, and that is going to sail over the crossbar, and Tooreen have their second point in 15 minutes, but weirdly enough, only 2 points behind. A much slower start to the intermediate contest than the junior contest, but it is Joe Boyle who, with a fist pump towards the Tooreen supporters in the Hogan stand to get them pumped up. It's a beautiful lofted take by, dare I say it was that man again, Joe Boyle, but it's not quite worked out for John Cassidy, who has been stripped of the slitter, and now it is Upperchurch's number 9, Aaron Ryan, on the ball, and Aaron Ryan has been stripped and slips, but no free given. Upperchurch now trying to work it back towards the centre of the pitch. There was almost a pick off the ground for Dermot Grant. Then he remembered the rules of this beautiful game and scooped it up with the hurley. A long lofted pass towards the right corner was intercepted, however, by Tooreen's David Kenny, and Kenny once again plays a short pass to his brother Sean Kenny, who plays it back to John Cassidy, who's stripped once again, and we have not moved from the 45-metre line in quite some time now, and the Tooreen players are trying to play it off the ground. Eventually it's up off the deck, but it's in the hand of the yellow and black of Upperchurch, and now the ball finds itself on the floor again, and it doesn't really want to be in the hand of anyone, but it eventually is found Aaron Ryan, who goes for a long range effort, but it is poorly struck and it is out for a wide ball. That got messy. That got very messy indeed. Bobby Douglas plays a short ball now to his defender Conal Hesson, and Hesson is now going to try and play it forward, and Tooreen are on the attack here, and it has found the corner forward of Liam Lavin, the short and stocky Liam Lavin, but prolific as ever. Upperchurch have stripped it on the Cusack stand side, however. It's a ferociously low hit but powerful ball into the full forward of number 21 Mikey Griffin, a late change to the Upperchurch team, but not able to get anything out of it. And Tooreen are going to look to work this on the left-hand side. It's once again good play by Fergal Boland, who has found number 3, Stephen Coyne, who fancies his chances and pulls forward. Stephen Coyne, who for the final in 2023, when Tooreen lost to Monaleen, travelled 60,000 kilometres home from Australia to make it for the semi-final. Upperchurch have stripped them of the ball, though, and now find it just outside the 2-point arc. It's a beautifully hit shot by the attacker Pat Ryan, scored 1-1 in the semi-final, and that is a fabulous bit of play from Upperchurch, jinked in off the left-hand side, and that'll make it 5 points to 2. Upperchurch with the 3-point lead after 17 minutes of play. Bobby Douglas opting for the long puck out now, no short trickery. It's straight into the hands of Joe Boyle, who scored Tooreen's last points just a handful of minutes ago. The Tooreen defenders advancing forward, and now it's found the attacker of Fergal Boland. Gets past 1, gets past 2, became Lionel Messi for a second, but has over-travelled the ball, and the free is blown against the Mayo man. Yes, went to go for this shot, but then at last minute just scooped it back onto its hurley. Scooped it back onto his hurley, I should say, and referee Cayman Flynn not too happy with that one. So Fergal Boland with his tail between his legs back towards his own 45-metre line. It's going to be a long-range effort here from Upperchurch. They're teeing it up that way anyways. And it is number 6 Gavin Ryan, the long-distance free taker, who will strike it, and the ball sails all the way over to the Davin stand, and that is a beautiful score from Gavin Ryan, straight over the crossbar. And that's about as good as you're kind of getting an All-Ireland final. Beautiful score from Gavin. A shorter than last time puck out play, but not the usual trickery from Tooreen. He found, the keeper Bobby Douglas found Stephen Coyne, who plays it forward to his attackers, but once again it's stripped by Upperchurch, whose defence has been absolutely immense so far in this game. Really, really something to be proud of for the manager, Liam Dunphy. He has They coached a tight-knit defence now, only 2 points they're giving, and they're now working the ball out from their own defensive areas, almost towards the centre of the pitch, but now it is the Tooreen player who dives and drives towards the Hogan stand side. That was Gavin Ryan who scored the last free, and another free he has been given from a very similar distance, so I wouldn't be surprised if he fancies his chances from this one as well. Just marches like a soldier, does Gavin Ryan, back to where the foul was committed with his green gripped hurley in hand. Now digs his feet and sweeps his boots across the grass to find an adequate position for this sliotar to be placed so he can drive one towards the Tooreen goalkeeper. Sets himself over it, standing to the left. Hurl is put into its early swinging motion. A lean and a strike from Gavin Ryan, and it definitely has the legs on it, but doesn't have the accuracy. It absolutely does, and it's a second consecutive long-distance free taken from Gavin Ryan, and the umpire stands to the left-hand side of the goal, waves the white flag, and Upperchurch have a 5-point lead here. In the earlier junior final, Kilbrittain down by 5 points to Easky, and of course came back to win. So this game is not over by any stretch of the imagination, but if Tooreen keep giving up sloppy play like that, unfortunately it might be over sooner than they think. Upperchurch now have got them into a melee on their own 45-metre line, and it is Upperchurch who come out with the ball, and the ref has been absolutely milled out of it. But it is a beautiful score nonetheless from Luke Shannon, who jinked past a falling referee who was absolutely swept off his feet by Stephen Coyne, and not in the dirty dancing kind. Something of the Bundyaki kind. And somehow Michael Morley is the one down with the injury. I tell you what, Cayman Flynn absolutely firmed that. Like, there's been some tackles put in today in Croke Park with players have gone down for less. So hats off to Cayman Flynn, who's strutting in the middle of the park in his red referee's uniform. Black shorts and has the socks pulled up long. Why wouldn't you? It's absolutely freezing in Croke Park. There's going to be a substitution here. And it is going to be number 8, Daniel Hwayne, who comes on.
Substitution number 2, Michael Morley, is being replaced by number 8, Daniel Hwayne.
Daniel Hwayne comes on for Michael Morley. Now that's the cornerback, but I can't imagine Hwayne will be filling in the cornerback position. Bobby Douglas once again now gets the play restarted and fires it forward. Tooreen not able to win their own puck out once again. Seems like the short puck out, the only thing working for the Mayo men so far. Connor Fahy is able to pop a short pass to number 9, Aaron Ryan, just on the halfway line. He then over his shoulder fires it into the full forward line, but Tooreen are there to sweep up the ball. But Tooreen are being closely followed by Upperchurch Drombane, but not close enough, and Oisin Greeley was able to get a lofted ball into the full forward line. It has called Kieran Short into action. The ball was left short, however, and Kieran was able to sweep it up and pat it down to one of his defenders. Now Upperchurch fire it forward, and they're going to try to get the attack in motion once again, but they can't quite, and a blue and white shirt has been able to claim it. That is the white shirt of Conal Hessian, and Hessian now playing it towards number 9 of Sean Kenny. Kenny, long distance effort, fired forward, but that one is closer to the Cusack stand than it is the goalpost, unfortunately. And the maroon and black helmeted Sean Kenny not able to play there. But the puck out was taken short by Upperchurch, and Tooreen have been able to block it down. It fell in the hands of Shane Boland, but his shot once again falls short and is given to Kieran Short, and Kieran Short will be able to mop up the mess and fire it forward back towards his half forwards. But Upperchurch have actually come out with the ball here, but running in the wrong direction, but that is quickly amended, and it's a lovely little bit of trickery by number 12, Paul Shannon. He's being hunted down by David Kenny, and Kenny has committed the foul, and it will be a free from about the 35-metre line on the Hogan stand side, not quite on the sideline, about 10-15 feet in from that white stripe. But you would fancy Upperchurch Drombane's free taker of Luke Shannon to pop this one straight over the uprights. Not much of a wind here in Croke Park today. It is cold, but not much of a wind. The wind will be of benefit of Luke Shannon. It is blowing from Cusack into Hogan stand. Usually a swirling wind over Hill 16, but slightly different here today, so it's picking us all up. A low crouch from Luke Shannon as he scoops the ball up, and with some velocity, I should say, puts it straight over the black spot. And that is a good score from Shannon. And Upperchurch lead by 7 points here in Croke Park. Tooreen have not really come out in this one in an attacking sense. This could be a much bigger scoreline for Upperchurch if they did not hit so many wides. But nonetheless, Conal Hessian is given a little bit of space to fire into his full forward line, and that opportunity is taken by Liam Lavin. Lavin is hooked down fantastically by the Upperchurch midfielder of Aaron Ryan. And now there is a melee inside the 2-point arc, but that is once again Aaron Ryan who just comes in, scoops up the spoils, and that is what your midfielder, Ilana Parker, should do. Absolutely excellent performance in midfield. His pass to the full, or to the half forwards, it wasn't exactly great, but we will keep the compliments rather than the negative. Fergal Boland came out with it for Tooreen. It's now Brian Morley's palms, and Tooreen are trying this sort of Gaelic football-esque passing in the middle of the park once again. Kenny Feeney, who went off for a blood substitution very early on, but made his way back into the field of play, is going to strike one with the right-hand side of his hurl, and the goalkeeper waving that one wide before the umpire did. Kieran Short had plenty of time to look at that one. 5 minutes left in the first half. It is Upperchurch Drombane, 9 points, Tooreen 2. It doesn't look like Michael Morley is going to make a reintroduction here. He has the sock and boot off of his left leg, as shown on big screens, and it's not looking like he's going to make a reintroduction. There was a dive for the ball by Paul Shannon, but he wasn't able to get there, ended up on the floor, and now we have something very similar of a rugby match. There's been a few rugby references, but that was a melee, and eventually Cayman Flynn has called for a free to Tooreen. In reality, he could have called it either way, and it probably would have been the right decision. It was hurls swinging everywhere. Kenny Feeney was looking to take the free, but Bobby Douglas has come off for it. It is on the 65-metre line, and this is absolutely in the repertoire of Bobby Douglas if he'd like to take a shot at this one. Didn't score in the semi-final despite taking some frees, but Bobby Douglas is going to go for it now. Bobby Douglas, long-range effort. That looks good. That looks excellent. And Bobby Douglas has put his name on the score sheet here in the All-Ireland final. 8 Tooreen clubmen started the 2025 Nicky Rackard Cup final. They need to channel that energy that they picked up from their experience there here if they want to fight back. But that's the right way to go about it. Upperchurch Drombane have almost won their own puck out, though. It was sent firing forward in towards the arc, but unfortunately for them, Tooreen have come out with it. And Bobby Douglas has sliotar in hand once again. Strikes it with the left-hand side of his hurley. Can use both sides effectively, can Bobby Douglas, as can most of these senior club players. But it is in the palm of Oisin Greeley, and now Tooreen are backing themselves into a corner once again with these short passes. Sean Kenny with a lovely pop ball off to Brian Morley, who has found some space, found one of his attackers. It's a long distance effort all the way up, and that is a fantastic score. Fantastic score by Owen Delaney, who scored 7 points. It looked like it was nowhere near, but it absolutely was. It was a beautiful effort, and Tooreen are fighting their way back into this one. A late purple patch here for the Mayo men. Kieran Short just looking to delay action a little bit. He stood right in his goal line, took a single step forward, and now has played it firmly into the palm of Paddy Phelan. Phelan, short pop ball, finds Gavin Ryan, who plays it all the way back to his defender, and there is an option there for Kieran Short. A bit of intricate passing for Upperchurch Drombane, like we've seen from Tooreen, but Upperchurch haven't played this style of hurling all game, and it could have potentially got sloppy, but it was cleared well. The ball soars into the air, almost reached me here on level 7 of Croke Park. You would have been a brave man to put your hand up to catch that one in this conditions, and it was palmed out of play by Upperchurch Drombane. So Tooreen will play the sideline cut. Fergal Boland will be the one to hit the ball. You can hear Coach Ray Larkin of Tooreen from all the way up here in the stands. And the ball is bobbling about, but it's eventually gone into an Upperchurch Drombane hand, and I'm very surprised that's not a foul. It's Luke Shannon who had the ball, and it's flicked out of play by one of the Tooreen defenders. It was Conal Hessian, who has covered all sorts of acreage in the Tooreen defensive lines. Additional time at the ready, it will be 2 minutes.
Additional time, at least 2 minutes. At least 2 minutes.
Sidelines played long. There's a beautiful curve on it, and that is one of the best efforts you will see today by Pat Ryan from the right-hand sideline. Had a beautiful curl on it, something Roberto Carlos would have been proud of. Another man who was successful in yellow, and I went over the crossbar for the 10th point of the game. Tooreen now in their own puck out, and they're going to look to respond equally. It is a very long-range effort, and it's gone over the bar once again. And that is once again Owen Delaney with his second long-range effort of the last couple of moments, who was able to get the score. And it is back to status quo, 5 points in it, where we were just a handful of moments ago. Long-range puck out played. Upperchurch not able to win it. It's going to fall to a Tooreen man. And is there a last gasp goal chance potentially? No, they didn't fancy the counter-attack. Kenny Feeney has played it to Liam Lavin, and Liam Lavin pops it back past, and it's going to be another long-range effort from Tooreen. Sean Kenny this time is going to put it up in the uprights, and there was a little bit of a kerfuffle amongst the full forwards, but the ball not near them, right from the centre of the park, probably the epicentre of Croke Park's field. Sean Kenny stood in it, struck in it, over the bar. 4-point game. Kieran Short not able to find an Upperchurch man once again, and the marking has got a lot more better, and it is Daniel Wayne who has the sliotar in hand now. It's another long-range effort for Tooreen. Joe Boyle with the longest one of the three, and that's gone over as well. 3 in a row from Tooreen, right from either the halfway line or beyond, to put them back into contention in this All-Ireland final. It's a 3-point game. It was a 7-point game a couple of moments ago. Upperchurch are begging for the half-time whistle, but we still have the guts of 40 seconds left, and at the rate Tooreen are firing the ball over the bar, that could be another 2 or 3 points. It's won once again by Fergal Boland, who plays it in to the corner forward. Number 14 of Shane Boland, actually at full forward, and Tooreen have an overlap here, but they've gone for the point once again, and it's another effort, it's another score, it's another one from Fergal Boland. Got the play, hit the pass, ran for the overlap, struck it off the right-hand side of his hurley, and that one has gone over the crossbar. What a score from Tooreen. It's a 2-point game, and Pat Short is delaying the game here, hoping for half-time, but Cayman Flynn is going to let it play once more. It was almost taken firmly out of the air by number 10 Conor Fahy of Upperchurch. They have still won the breaking ball, and is there a quick response here potentially from Church? But the referee blows her over carrying, and you would think Tooreen have just won the game with the reaction of their coaches. This is what they would call in the United States a hustle. This is excellent from Tooreen. Bobby Douglas plays it short. Are Tooreen going to have one last effort here? Surprised the referee is not blown for half-time yet. It is going to be a long-range strike from Joe Boyle, and that one is struck beautifully from the 45-metre line over the crossbar. This was a 7-point game a hair's breadth ago. Tooreen have fought back, 1 point in it. Cayman Flynn blows for half-time, and that is not a purple patch, it's a blue and white patch from the Mayo men. A fight back, a fight back. Game on our hands well and truly. Sliotar thrown into the middle of the park, and a bunch of shoulders means it flies straight through, and immediately one of the Upperchurch men end up at the deck. But it is Tooreen who are charging forward and will look to continue this flurry. And they pass the ball to Kenny Feeney, who fires one off the right-hand side on the 65-metre line, and it's like there was never a half-time break. Immediate response to the ball being thrown in from Tooreen, and for the first time in this contest we're level. Puck out fired forward by Kieran Short, and it is won by Tooreen's Daniel Wayne. Pop back to Owen Delaney, who scored 2 points in that first half, and now it is fired forward, and Tooreen are on the attack here. It has found Shane Boland, scored 1-8 in the semi-final. Played back and finds number 17 John Cassidy. John Cassidy picks and pops But there's a Tooreen man on the ground, eventually does get the hand pass away and finds Fergal Boland, but Tooreen are being pushed back here at a rate of knots, and Upperchurch have got their defence together, it seems. No shot being allowed got off, and Upperchurch will fight for this one right in the centre of the park. High hurl from Stephen Coyne, but no free blown. And Upperchurch are looking to play it round the back here. Dean Carew playing the hand pass, it's shoddy, and it's found the Tooreen attacker, who immediately fires off the right hand side of his hurley, and it's a fist pump of delight of the right hand for Fergal Boland, who has got his second score in the All-Ireland final. And Upperchurch have not come out firing on all cylinders here, despite leading at 7 points at one point in this game. They're losing. Upperchurch fire the ball forward, and it is found. No, it's not found anyone, to be precise. It's on the deck, but Tooreen have managed to pick it up. They're right in between the 65 and 45 metre lines, and now Tooreen have scooped it up once again, and it's Stephen Coyne, the veteran Tooreen player, who played his first game for the club back in played again his first game for Mayo, I should say, in Croke Park back in 2004. He fires it up the field, and Tooreen are attacking in numbers here. It's not their usual attack. They've put a bit of pace into this one. And Kenny Feeney turns and tries to get on his right-hand side and plays a Hail Mary of a hand pass, which did deflect off the helmet of one of the Upperchurch defenders, but it is eventually bobbled all the way back into Owen Delaney, who fires one from some distance, and that has a pair of legs that could run a 100-metre race over the crossbar. He was falling away from that shot, still fired it over his left shoulder, and a beautiful score to put Tooreen into their biggest lead of the game so far. Upperchurch did win their own puck out, and now it'll go towards their full forward line, and it is just on the 21, but the blue shirts of Tooreen have managed to scoop it up, and there's a flick off the helmet there, and the Tooreen defender goes down like a sack of spuds, and it will be a free to the Mayo team. It was Oisin Greeley who went down for Tooreen. Oisin Greeley named in the Nicky Rackard Cup Team of the Year, one of the prolific Mayo players. Of course, this Tooreen team had a huge influence on Mayo's Nicky Rackard Cup campaign. Shane Boland, Liam Lavin and Owen Delaney scored a combined 376 for Mayo in that campaign in this season, which really was fabulous, with inter-county hurling getting back underway. Well, already back underway. A big result for Dublin today against Wexford in the O'Byrne Cup. Tooreen have the ball in the top left-hand corner of the pitch. Tooreen in this second half playing from Hill 16 to the Davin, and Upperchurch playing the opposite, from the Davin to Hill 16. And Tooreen have won a sideline ball approximately 25 metres out from the end line. Proper Joe Canning territory this, but can Tooreen fire it over as well? Their biggest scorer in the first half, Joe Boyle from halfback. But this is Owen Delaney, who is looking to become and pick up his 4th point of the game. But that sideline ball is just dragged to the left and wide. There's really not a wind out there, or certainly the flags are not waving above Hill 16. The shot's got to be deadly accurate. Long puck out played by Kieran Short. It's once again won by Tooreen, and ball is going to have to start going to hand soon for Upperchurch, you feel. And it is number 12, Fergal Boland, who had a tug of the shirt, but he was still able to release the slitter down towards the right-hand corner, and there's a brutal shoulder put in from Paul Shannon, who was able to pick the ball up and pop it out to his midfielder. Paul Shannon playing a defensive role now here in this second half. A little lofty ball played over to the left-hand side to Colm Ryan, and despite it being a 50-50, he's come out on the right side of it, and Upperchurch are going to fire a beautiful shot over from the left, but it went all the way over to the right-hand post, and that was taken by Dermot Grant, his first score of the day. And Upperchurch's first point of the second half. It is 12-11 Tooreen lead. Tooreen on the attack immediately once again. Quick puck out by Bobby Douglas. Went long. Tooreen fires from the right. That'll be to the left and wide though. Or will it? It is to the wide, but I believe the referee is going to call for... Is he going to call for a 65? No, he didn't. The Tooreen players were appealing, but no whistle from Cayman Flynn. Well, there is the whistle for Kieran Short to get things underway once again, and Upperchurch have got that ball firmly in their hands. That's a much better routine, but it's a beautiful block from Tooreen on the 45-metre line, And it is now Liam Lavin in the red helmet who is looking to jink past a few defenders, was falling backwards into the Upperchurch man and was able to pop the ball off to Sean Kenny, but Kenny is trailing backwards, trying to scoop the sliotar into his hand. He eventually got it and was able to pass it off to Daniel Whane. Whane plays the ball forward in, and there is a foul and a trip just as Shane Boland was about to get the ball into his glove. He was tripped by the Upperchurch defender, and it will be a free into Tooreen right on the 2-point arc of Croke Park's field, approximately 35 metres or so out from the goalposts. The Blue Devils leading by a singular point here in this AIB All-Ireland Club Championship, Intermediate Club Championship final. They've won 6 of the last 8 Mayo Championships. They've won 5 Connacht Championships between 2014 and 2024, but the closest they came was a 2-point loss to Monaleen in 2023. They have a lot of big scorers on the bench and experienced players who can come on, such as Daniel Whane, who did come on for Michael Morley's injury. Of course, he was named in the Nicky Rackard Cup Team of the Year as well, and the free was firmly taken by Shane Boland. No dramas, was slotted straight over the crossbar off the left-hand side of his hurley. Dermot Grant plays the ball forward, but there is no one in that right-hand side corner. Pat Ryan is chasing after it, but it is Tooreen who are able to have the exit pass, and it was put straight into the hand of one of the midfielders, who eventually launches it forward. And now Tooreen have movement here. They have a bit of space, and it's on the hurl of Fergal Boland, who jinks inside, fires off his right, and that is going to slot straight over the crossbar. It's another 3-point lead, soon as you like, for Tooreen. Brilliant play from Fergal Boland. Had a lot of space in the left corner. There was no real corner back there, but still jinked inside, hit it off his preferred right, and that is another score for him. Scored 2 points in the semi-final, but it's been a significant quantity more here. But he is down on the ground currently, and the medical team are coming on to give him treatment, and as soon as they make his way to him, he stands up, and they have to make the run off on the opposite sideline. So Fergal Boland making sure everyone's staying warm here in this contest. Upperchurch win their own puck out, and they're on their own 45-metre line, but again the second breaking ball has just not been claimed. It is in the hands of Oisin Greeley, who has overcarried it, and Upperchurch Drombane are going to have a nicely positioned free here for Gavin Ryan to potentially slot over. Scored 5 in the first half, did Upperchurch from the dead ball, 2 from Gavin Ryan, and then 3 from Luke Shanahan. Tooreen actually not scoring any in the first half from the dead ball. In a day that has been surrounded by long distance frees, Tooreen not able to get one. And Upperchurch from just outside the 2-point arc are able to slot that ball over the bar and make this a 2-point game once again. We're still yet to see a goal in Croke Park today. The green flag's not been waved. Interesting to see if the nets can be rattled for the first time. Bobby Douglas lofts it long, and that is something straight out of the puck photo, of course, saying he took part in that national final in 2024. It did find Liam Lavin, but the Upperchurch defenders seem to be able to scoop this up, or can they? Bit of a melee inside the D, and it has bounced out to find number 11 Brian Morley, who's going to fire it, but he is blocked down, and that was great defending from Upperchurch. They were able to claim that ball back, and Niall Grant is able to pass it off, and the exit pass is fired forward. There's numbers for the black and amber here, and it is a beautiful attack from number 13 Pat Ryan. It's not Pat, it's Conor Fahey. He's left his man for dead. It's a goal for Upperchurch. Could you believe it? Commentators' curses usually don't work like that. Taken into the hands of Conor Fahey, marches past the Tooreen defenders, rifles it under the goalkeeper, in between his legs. 1-12-14. Upperchurch Drombane are back in the lead of this All-Ireland final. I literally just said it. Is there going to be a goal in Croke Park? And there was. Upperchurch listening to your audio descriptive commentary here, and now it's Upperchurch Drombane who have all the momentum, and they have numbers once again in the attack. Croke Park roars as they listen to Aaron Ryan, who fires a long range effort, and oh, it's gone off the post and wide. He didn't fancy taking it into the full forwards once again, fired it from distance, came off the metal band on his hurley, as there is going to be a substitute made here for Upperchurch Drombane. But not yet. We'll get the puck out from Bobby Douglas first. Douglas Oh, what a strike. Finds Fergal Boland perfectly, and Boland is able to tap it back to his midfielder, who fires it into the full forward line. It's a beautiful catch by the man in the red helmet, who's blocked down once again. That's Liam Lavin, who has not got a shot off all day. Tried to jink inside, was beautifully blocked once again, but now he's got the best of Dean Carew, and he's able to tip it back to John Cassidy, but Cassidy's been absolutely flattened by the Tipperary man, and Upperchurch Drombane walk forward and advance into their full forward line, but it is taken by Conal Hessian, who's able to pop it back to Stephen Coyne. This is a really entertaining passage of play. The ball is stripped all the way over to a free man on the left hand side on the 45-metre line, who strikes it firmly over the crossbar, and that man is none other than Kenny Feeney.
Substitution number 7, Colin Ryan, is replaced by number 11, Paddy Phelan.
Paddy Phelan, who was listed on the programme to start centre forward, has come on at wing back for Colin Ryan. Puck out taken by the goalkeeper once again. And it is going to be Tooreen who sweep up this one in their own defensive areas. And it's a lovely little lofted ball to find the attacker once again. It's a long-range effort, might be the longest of the day. It's equally precise. That is a beautiful score from Brian Morley. Absolutely magnificent, right from the Cusack stand side. And Brian Morley has got another one here today.
Substitution. Number 17, John Cassidy, is being replaced by number 20, Sean Regan.
Sean Regan comes on for John Cassidy. What a score from Brian Morley that was. He's been playing for Tooreen since 2018, scored 3 points in the Connacht final, has a handful to his name here today so far. Lovely take into the hands once again of number 8, Daniel Whane, who's really made a difference since he came on early in that first half. Sean Kenny is able to pop it back to the newly introduced Sean Regan, but he's blocked down. And Sean Kenny did get the ball back in his hands, but he has been taken down once again by Luke Shannon, who's playing defensively for Upperchurch once again. It's back in the hands of Daniel Whane. Ball bobbled around the centre of the park for some time. Was fired forward. The Upperchurch man won it. They're both on the ground. They're literally wrestling each other on the 45-metre line, trying to stand up. It's like something straight out of Olympic judo. And the referee, Cayman Flynn, has no choice but to intervene here. Whistle brought firmly to his lips, and it will be a throw ball. Ball is thrown in, and they're immediately on the deck once again. But it is Tooreen who come out with the ball, and I imagine they're going to tee themselves up for another long-range effort. Yes, spread it all the way to the left on the 45-metre line. It's a long-distance effort. There's no Tooreen men within 21 metres, but it is equally excellent from Kenny Feeney, who puts the ball over the bar. Upperchurch get this game restarted once again. There is a case of urgency being put into the Upperchurch players, and the last time that happened they rifled one underneath the legs of Bobby Douglas. Oh, it's a horrid hand pass, but it is beautifully swept up by the Tooreen defender, who was under a lot of pressure there. That was Conal Hessian, who has had a monster of a game from full back. Oh, it's a terrible pass over to Sean Regan, though. It was cross field all the way to the right hand sideline. And it was Sean Regan who wasn't able to claim it. It will be a Upperchurch sideline ball right from the coach's box of the Hogan stand side. And it is Gavin Ryan who plays an equally horrible pass. And it's once again reclaimed by the Blue Devils. And it is a monster of an effort from behind the halfway line. And that's Brian Morley once again. And Brian Morley has been something of a dream today for Tooreen. Another long-range effort. And Tooreen lead by 3 once again. Kieran Short taking no time to get this ball back in, and it is at the 45-metre line for the Black and Amber once again. Ball fired forward by the newly introduced, it's not Lachlan Ryan, it is Paul Ryan who is on that. And now it is Upperchurch who have the ball in the final quadrant once again, but they are being closed down, and it will be a free in. There was an impediment somewhere there. The free has been given against David Kenny. And it will be a fairly handy one, you would think, for Upperchurch Drombane. Yeah, just an arm around the neck there from David Kenny of, I think it was one of the Shanahans. But it will be Luke Shanahan who will be taking this. Scored 3 frees in the first half. looking for a fifth, I believe. I think he got another one in this half. That will go straight over the crossbar. It was right from the 21-metre line, almost from a penalty position. Just to the right-hand side, pardon me. And that was a good point for Luke Shannon. 2-point game, 14 minutes left. Tooreen, 18 points. Upperchurch Drombane, 1-13 of 16 points. So it's another puck out played by Bobby Douglas, and it is intercepted by Upperchurch Drombane, and they are playing a different style of hurling now. The ball is fired forward into the full forward line, and it once again is Paul Ryan, who tried to break in between two of the Tooreen defenders, tried to open up the seas like Moses, but the blue stood tall. Played forward by Brian Morley now of Tooreen in towards his full forward line. He's going to go for another long range effort, but this one does not have the legs, unfortunately, and it will be claimed by Kieran Short. Ball was played short for sure. Now Upperchurch will look to fire this one forward, and it's a long distance classic hurling once again, and just as I say that, Tooreen result to a few hand passes on their own 65-metre line. Conal Hessian and David Kenny playing in between the two. David Kenny sporting a yellow and black helmet, very similar to the colour of his nemesis for today, Upperchurch Drombane, who now have the slitter in their hand, and it is played all the way over to number 12 of Paul Shannon, who was looking for the shot. He's overcarried there, claim the sideline officials, aka the managers, but now Upperchurch Drombane do get their free. It's a foul by Sean Regan of Tooreen, and there is Luke Shannon, who is down on the ground for Upperchurch Drombane, but he's back up as soon as the free was given. Not suggesting anything. Part of Upperchurch Drombane's part of the minor hurling team of the year, I should say, in 2020. Free taker for the Church. And he's going to try this one from very far to the left, just outside the 45-metre line, about 3 paces in from the sideline. Linesman watches him. Tees it up, taking his time. Pressure from the fans come in. It's struck well off the off his right-hand side of his hurl, but that one is dragged to the left and wide. There will be an introduction now for Upperchurch.
Upperchurch Drombane substitution. Number 9, Aaron Ryan, is being replaced by number 26, Jack Butler.
Jack Butler will make his way on for Upperchurch Drombane in replace of Aaron Ryan in the midfield. Jack Butler not listed in the panel the last day, but he is on the team now. Upperchurch are losing this game by 2 points. They got a last-minute goal in the group stage at the start of the season against Ballina to save their championship hopes. They might need it to win the championship. They do have the ball now in the centre of the park, and it is number 13, Pat Ryan, who jinks in past 1, past 2, and it is a lofty long-range effort from Ryan, one of 6 Ryans on the team, and that is a fabulous one from Pat, grandson of the great Packy Ryan, who instilled Upperchurch Drombane hurling motives in his life every single day. Unfortunately, sadly passed away a few years ago, did Packy Ryan, but a fabulous story of his was how he could swing any committee vote with some passionate speeches. But Tooreen are not even going to let that little bit of a chatter finish before they're able to fire off another shot. And it was to the left-hand side and wide, however, so no additional score for Tooreen. Puck is played out by Kieran Short, and there is a definite foul and a push to the ground on the Upperchurch Drombane man of Paul Shannon. And he will get the free literally right on the halfway line, on the sideline where the substitutes would be introduced. None currently stood there waiting. And there'll be a free taken there instead. And it's Gavin Ryan who has the luminous yellow slitter firmly in his left hand. The old retro Puma boots, it looks like. Could be Adidas or Puma, really. It's quite a distance up here to level 7. As he sets this free up to hopefully fire it over the bar and put the two sides level once again. A palm of grass floated into the air to test the wind. Tees himself up. There was some noise coming on that Hogan stand side to Gavin Ryan, but he's a composed hurler, and he fires it up, and he fires it to the right and wide. Oh no, he doesn't. Oh, that looked wide from up here. It's a beautiful score from Gavin Ryan. My apologies, sir. That is an excellent bit of hurling. Bobby Douglas points to the right for Tooreen, and it will be sent high to the right, almost to the full forward line, just that little bit shorter, and Tooreen have won the breaking ball, and it is number 12 Fergal Boland who finds himself a bit of space and is able to fire it over the bar, just on that right hand side outside the arc. If it was a game of football, Tooreen would really be knocking over these 2 pointers, but it isn't, so that doesn't matter. Here come Upperchurch Drombane once again, firing and walking their way through the middle of the park. Ball is played long on the 45-metre line, and now there is a tussle between the Tooreen defender and the injection of pace from number 26, the substitute Jack Butler, who is looking to make his impact on this All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling final. Oh, lovely play on the left-hand side, and Tooreen are charging forward. There's a goal chance. It's an unbelievable block. That is the stuff of champions from the Upperchurch Drombane defenders. Joe Boyle is on the ground in a heap. It was a brilliant block that took his legs from beneath him. It was full contact with the sliotar, but it was just the ferocity that the defender came in at that brought him down. He is seriously hurt, and there is David Kenny on the floor now as well, so the medics will be able to make their way onto the field. What a block down. Who got the block? Joe Boyle fired. That is precision at its finest from the Upperchurch defender. And I do apologise, but any of the replays are not really showing his number, so can't quite identify who the... Oh, here we go. We'll get another look now at who might have just saved the day for Upperchurch Drombane. If he could take a jinx to the left on the big screen, that would be great, but he isn't. I think it was Mikey Griffin. That'll be my guess for now. It was Mikey Griffin. Or was it? No, it wasn't. It was Niall Grant. Niall Grant with the block. No, third time. Is it Niall Grant? It was Niall Grant with the block. Apologies, folks. No, it wasn't. It was Paddy Phelan. Look, at least we had a nice bit of break of play to identify who Upperchurch Drombane's hero might be. It was Paddy Phelan with the block. Number 11, Paddy Phelan, who was listed on the programme to start, but didn't make it into the starting team. It'll be a throw-in ball from the halfway line, and it is immediately won by Upperchurch Drombane. It was Luke Shannon. He's been hit in the head 4 times by about 5 different hurls, but he was still able to escape with the ball, but the hand pass wasn't able to be claimed by his teammate. It's eventually won back by Upperchurch, still on the halfway line. Now starting to progress forward is Luke Shannon, and it's into the palm of Dermot Grant, who's charging. Upperchurch Drombane have numbers. It's popped up to Paul Shannon, who jinks to his left-hand side, fires it at the goalkeeper. Big save by Bobby Douglas, charges through the 3 Upperchurch attackers, and is able to come out with the breaking ball. And Bobby Douglas doesn't fancy stopping his attack here, eventually passes it over to the left-hand side, and now Tooreen will start an attack of their own. It's fired forward to Kenny Feeney up in the full forward line, but Feeney is not able to win that. He is stripped by Dermot Grant, and now Paddy Phelan is charging after it, but was not able to claim it. It's found in the palms of Kenny Feeney once again, right on the right-hand side, but that is dragged to the left and wide, and Kieran Short will get ball in hand for a quick puck out. We have 6.5 minutes left of the All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling final, and it is Tooreen 19 points, Upperchurch Drombane a goal and 15, 1 point trailing. But they have the ball forward now, and they're going to find their full forwards. It was a beautiful take there by Paul Ryan, who's charging forward, and is doing another goal in Drombane's history. It's another big save by Bobby Douglas. It'll go out for a 65. The attacker was charging in from the right-hand side. It was Jack Butler who ended up taking the shot in the end. Charged down on the right-hand side, but it was a half-hit shot really at the end of the day, and it was well saved by Bobby Douglas. He just brushed off the defender, got that extra step to the right-hand side, but was not able to finish it. A good effort nonetheless from Jack Butler, who really could be described as the fox in the box. .65 now to be taken by Luke Shannon of Upperchurch Drombane. This is to level the scores with 4.5 minutes to go in Crow Park for the All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling Final. A point decided the junior final. It could well be a point here today, and that is struck straight over the bar by, it wasn't Luke Shannon in the end, it was Gavin Ryan. They were both stood over it, but Gavin Ryan is the one to score the point.
Number 15, Kenny Feeney, is being replaced by number 18, Fionn Delaney.
It is the end of the day for Kenny Feeney, as Fionn Delaney will come back onto the field of play. Came on earlier as a blood substitute, but there is an applause for Kenny Feeney, who will be leaving with some paper stitches in his forehead, but a lot of memories for a fabulous performance here in the All-Ireland Intermediate hurling quarter-final. We will have extra time and penalties if needed, but we'll see what happens when we get to that point. Puck out lofted long by Bobby Douglas. Tooreen are able to win the breaking ball. Once again looking for that quick long range point. They were able to take it, but it was a half hit shot and another fabulous block. The two players involved in that one actually hurt, and there was a bit of cramp, I believe, for Daniel Whane, who is down just inside the Upperchurch Drombane half. Upperchurch have fired the ball forward. Number 4, Conal Hessian leaped for that one, but it has eventually fallen into the palms of Upperchurch Drombane, and it is dragged to the left and wide. It was Paddy Phelan once again in the green Cooper helmet who was not able to get the score. 57 minutes played. Additional time might be added on, but we have not had many stoppages here in the second half of play in the All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling Final. Upperchurch Drombane have won the puck out once again, right in the Cusack stand side at the 45-metre line, closer to the Tooreen goalkeeper than the Upperchurch one, but they still have the ball in hand, and they will now take a moment to compose themselves and plan their next attack. That swiftly ends, and the ball is played forward to find Paul Shannon. Scored a point in the first half, has picked up more here in the second. It's a lofted ball long to try find the fox in the box, Jack Butler, who races like a racehorse, and he's able to beat Bobby Douglas to get it. Goalkeeper is out, no one is covering for Tooreen, and it is Jack Butler who is going to get the shot off, and that might be, no, it's dragged to the right and wide. It looked like it was going to be the shot of his life for Jack Butler off his right hand side, but unfortunately just wasn't able to get it, and Bobby Douglas getting away with that one. There was no coverage in the goal, so if it had been struck right and maybe didn't have the distance on it, it could have easily gone in the back of the net. Ball played out by Bobby Douglas once again. It finds the Tooreen halfback, who's going to launch this one forward, and it is now a case of launch the ball into the box and see what happens. It's bobbled out, and it is a tussle between two Tooreen players on the 2-point arc to try and find this one over the left hand side of the field, and they're now both pushing each other and mauling each other into the middle of the pitch, and who's going to come out with it? It is going to be Paul Shannon of Upperchurch Drombane. That is excellent play from him. Now it's played all the way down the right hand side. Upperchurch now have attackers in motion. It's Conor Fahey who races away, steps to the right, takes a shot, but that one is going to fall firmly to the right and wide. Could have been a big effort for Conor Fahey, but he just did not strike it well. Found the space, dinked to the right in traditional hurling fashion like we've seen today, but was just not able to put the ball over the bar. Number 25 for Tooreen is about to come on. That's Pádraig Mooney.
Other than Tooreen's substitution, number 4, Conal Hessian, has been replaced by number 25, Pádraig Mooney.
What an effort by Conal Hessian, the Mayo seniors player. Pádraig Mooney comes on, the 2023 Mayo under-20s captain. A lot of experience on this Tooreen side, of course. 8 of them started the final 3 years ago now, but it was 2 seasons ago. And here we go, Croke Park erupts as we are entering the final minute of normal play. Tooreen versus Upperchurch Drombane are level, and the ball is played and fired into the middle of the park. This is as close as you're going to get a hurling contest. Luke Shannon breaks out with it, but it is a half-hit effort once again, and it finds the Tooreen defender of Stephen Coyne, the experienced Stephen Coyne, arguably the leader of this team. Ball knocks off the hurl, and the sideline is given to Upperchurch, and we will have 3 minutes of additional time.
Additional time, at least 3 minutes. At least 3 minutes additional time.
3 minutes of additional time here in Croke Park as we just flick over the 60-minute mark. Sideline ball taken by Luke Shannon. It is hit long and it is taken by one of the Tooreen men. That is Pat Ryan, who has been stripped of the ball by, it was Pat Ryan of Upperchurch who's been stripped of the ball by Tooreen. And Upperchurch have given away the free. It is head in the hands for Paddy Phelan, who can't quite believe what just happened. It is going to be a long-range effort from Bobby Douglas, the authoritative goalkeeper. He is about 68 metres away from goal the puck fodder national finalist in Louth in 2024 is going to need one of the most precise and longest pucks of his life here. He's teeing up a point in this one. It is 19 points Tooreen, 116. Bobby Douglas strikes off the right-hand side of his hurl. It's dropping short into the box. It's cleared away by the Upperchurch goalkeeper, Kieran Short, who's off his line and looking for a block. It's fallen to Liam Lavin, who hits the left upright. It's fallen into the box, and Upperchurch somehow are going to clear this one, will they? It's bubbling around the box. The free is eventually given. Liam Lavin was a centimetre away from a potential All-Ireland winning point, but it struck off the left-hand post. Upperchurch get action underway. We still have 2 minutes left of additional time, but the puck is cleanly claimed by Tooreen. Number 9, Sean Kenny, fires it to the right-hand side forward, and it has found one of the Tooreen substitutes. That is Fionn Delaney, who scored a late point in the semi-final. And it is a free to Upperchurch on the left-hand side, Hogan stand sideline. It was Brian Morley, who has been excellent today, who was the one who fouled. There is a minute left in normal time here. Upperchurch Drombane, fired forward by Gavin Ryan. He's lofted it into the full forward line. It's palmed away by a Tooreen attacker. And now Sean Kenny has the ball in hand in his black and maroon helmet, fires it down the Hogan stand sideline. It doesn't have the power to go over the sideline, and it is beautifully taken by Fionn Delaney, who turns his defender inside out. It's Brian Morley who fires from distance, and it's over the bar. Brian Morley might have just won an All-Ireland for Mayo and Croke Park. Can you believe it? It's in hurling of all things. It is. Puck out is taken quickly by Kieran Short, fired forward by Gavin Ryan, who has a long distance effort himself. Is it going to go over the sideline? It is. There's 30 seconds left in Croke Park. It is 20 points to Tooreen, 19 points for Upperchurch Drombane. This will be the longest puck out of Bobby Douglas's life, but the referee calls him on. It's lofted high in the sky, almost higher than the skyline door, and it's on the opposition 2-point arc. Upperchurch are the ones who come out with the ball, but it is the number 8, Dermot Grant, who's been put to the floor, and Upperchurch Drombane are going to have one last chance. They have won a free. They have won a free about 55 metres from their own goal. And this is going to be the biggest moment of Gavin Ryan's hurling career so far for Upperchurch. Played for Tipperary under-21s in 2015, a grandson of the late Packy Ryan, who is going to be doing absolutely everything to cheer on his grandson at this very moment in time. Scored 7 points from frees against Drum and Inch. A teacher from Upperchurch, who is the most calm and composed man in the stadium. 2 deep breaths in, steps up with his left foot in front of the ball and the right foot dragging behind. Seizes his opportunity. This could be it. Fires it forward. Gavin Ryan, the luminous yellow slitter floats through the air, and it is over the bar! Gavin Ryan! That is a piece of excellence that live in Croke Park folklore. For time and time again, we're going to extra time. Let's let battle commence in Croke Park once again. It's immediately won by Sean Regan of Tooreen, who fires it forward into the full forward line. Shane Boland has lost the run of himself and has lost the ball as well, and Dermot Grant is able to fire forward. It'll be interesting to see if we see some tactical hurling come back, or if it is still going to be these last gasp efforts. You know the way extra time has been played. It's a lovely little shimmy from Paddy Phelan, who plays the pass off to his fellow attacker, and I was going to say no advantage played, but that's because the free has been given the opposite direction, and the ball is in the love of Bobby Douglas of Tooreen. And yeah, it was a bit of a push in the face of Stephen Coyne of Tooreen. That's why the free was given. Ball has skipped down the right-hand sideline. It has gone past Brian Morley and into the hand of an Upperchurch defender. And now a little bit of a solo run and a lovely little flick right on the sideline. Right foot was out of play for Dermot Grant, but crucially the slitter was not, so No harm, no foul. Upperchurch were able to win that ball initially, but some good defending by David Kenny has caused the intercept. It's now in the hand of Fergal Boland, who is just progressing over the halfway line into the attacking phase, and it is a lovely little 1-2 between himself and Pádraig Mooney, who's a new introduction, and it's going to look to be the first point of extra time. It's struck off the right hand side of Fergal Boland, but it has dropped into the hands of Kieran Short, the Upperchurch Drombane goalkeeper. And Upperchurch have run into a brick wall while exiting their defensive quarters, but the ball has been hit back to Kieran Short, who's able to fire it long and into the space. It has found Paul Ryan, and that is a lovely little jink ball inside to find Pat Ryan. Red helmet, charging forward. Oh, it was a long-range goal effort, but it has glanced wide. That was 110% a goal effort from Pat Ryan. He struck it from the 21, miles outside, and Tooreen get play underway once again with a long ball lofted forward into their corner forward position, and they're going to probably win this breaking ball as well. No, it is poked by an Upperchurch defender along the ground, but it was not able to claim it. Fionn Delaney, who has been a delight since his late addition in the second half, not able to win that ball. He was blocked down, and there's another little of a chop put in from the Upperchurch defenders. Referee says no foul. It will be an Upperchurch sideline ball on the Hogan stand side. Upperchurch just taking their time with this one, as will all the players in this extra time. This has been a gruelling contest. They have had plenty of time to prepare and rest for it. In retrospect to our footballers who are playing tomorrow after playing last week, the hurlers all playing before Christmas. It was a bit of a different Christmas for all of them. Pádraig Mooney now for Tooreen flicks it back to number 13, Liam Lavin, the prolific attacker, who actually hasn't gone on the score sheet today, would you believe, but did hit the post late in the second half. It has once again found a Tooreen man over the 45-metre line, and as I say, that Liam Lavin has just struck one from distance, and that's going over the crossbar, is it? It is no, just to the right and wide. A bit of indecisiveness from the umpire, but he eventually declared that it was not a point for the Sligo, or for the Mayo man, sorry, apologies. Sligo team was earlier. Sorry, Connacht people.
Upperchurch Drombane substitution. Number 8, Jamin Grant, has been replaced by number 9, Aaron Ryan.
Jamin Grant has been replaced by Aaron Ryan, who has made a reintroduction to play here. There was no official announcement for who Pádraig Mooney replaced, but number 25 for Tooreen is on the pitch. But Aaron Ryan back on the pitch now for Upperchurch Drombane. Scored 6 points in the Munster Championship. And now it is Upperchurch Drombane who have the ball in their own full forward line, and there's a chance here for Jack Butler. What a save by Bobby Douglas! Dived down to his left hand side. That is the stuff of dreams for a goalkeeper. Jack Butler can't do anything right to get a goal. It was a beautiful shot into the corner. Goalkeeper is heavily injured here, but I don't think he's going to care, because that is a potential All-Ireland winning save. That is a magnificent save by Bobby Douglas. It was a beautiful strike, and it was saved off the hurl, I believe, as well. And the Upperchurch Drombane attacker, Jack Butler, literally threw himself at the ball, and I cannot underestimate that enough. He jumped at the ball to try and put it in the net, but it was cleared away by Tooreen, and a potential goal opportunity squandered. We're still at 20 points apiece. No score, 4 minutes and 40 seconds into this first half. There is now some medical attention for Tooreen goalkeeper Bobby Douglas. Their substitute goalkeeper, if he has to come on, is Devogue Frayne, who made his adult hurling debut at 16, played for Tooreen B, played for the Mayo Seniors hurling team as well, and is a music teacher actually. So some musical talent in the Tooreen squad. Devogue Frayne has just done a couple of paces up and down the sideline just in case, but I think Bobby Douglas is going to be okay here. I think it is just a case of sliotar to the gut, which is a horrible feeling. I played goalkeeper myself for many years in well, not for many years in Féile competitions, but played in Féile competitions. Admittedly wasn't that great, but did get plenty of sliotar to the body, and it hurts badly, no matter how big and strong you are, whether you're the absolute monster in between the sticks like Bobby Douglas. A cold sliotar to the leg, to the uncovered leg, is not nice. But he is okay, and Upperchurch get play underway almost with what looked like a corner. They've played it short, flicked it back, but that is to the right and wide. A nice little set piece attempt by Upperchurch Drombane. No Hawkeye has been used here today in Croke Park. It is an operation if we need it, but the umpires are not feeling for it just yet. Now, there's a little bit of a tussle in the middle of or just to the right-hand side of the park between Liam Lavin and one of the Upperchurch defenders. There was literally no attempt to win the ball there from either of them. It was Dean Carew. They were just having a little bit of a cuddle on Croke Park's carpet. The ball is now in Dean Carew's hands after winning the throw-in ball, and the ball is lofted high into the sky, and Upperchurch have almost won it again, and the Upperchurch full forward line is causing problems. They have a 2-on-1 in the goalkeeper. It's fired, and this will not be saved. Paddy Phelan fires into the back of the net for Upperchurch. It's a second goal of the contest. There was not a chance Bobby Douglas was saving that one. It's a first score of extra time, and it's a crucial goal for Paddy Phelan. What a shot from Phelan, rifled it into the top right-hand corner. And that is an excellent finish. And Upperchurch are going again. The full forward line since Jack Butler's introduction are causing absolute havoc. It's Route 1 hurling if you could create such a thing. But Tooreen have come out. It's a vicious hand pass from Pádraig Mooney to give it back to his halfback, who launches it forward into the full forward line. It's Liam Lavin, who is still working so hard to win the loose ball. He now has it in his hand. He jinks inside to his left hand side and fires a lovely crossfield pass to just outside the 2-point arc to Brian Morley, who we know can score from distance. Jinks in onto the right hand side of his hurl, fires it well above the goalposts, and it's a beautiful point by Tooreen. Their first score of extra time, but it is an immediate response, and it's a 4th point of the game for Brian Morley. Puck out is played by Kieran Short. And it is bobbling around sort of the centre of the park, but Tooreen have come out with it, and it is a challenge on Fergal Boland. But no free given. Tooreen will play on. They have a bit of loose space. Owen Delaney fires off his left-hand side, right to the left-hand side sideline. But that one will unfortunately not go over the bar. It will go to the left and wide. Kieran Short not rushing moments now as he maybe was in the first half. He composes himself and fires a lovely looped ball all the way over to the right hand side, almost on the touchline. It's won well by Upperchurch Drombane, and it is that man, it's not Paddy Phelan, it's Paul Shannon in a similar green Cooper helmet who is able to take it. Now it falls back to the Luke Shannon, who's able to play it forward, and the Upperchurch Drombane full forward line are causing problems once again. This is the reintroduced Aaron Ryan, who's able to pass it over, and it is a long range effort right from the right hand side, and that one is going to go wide. No chance at that one, unfortunately, for Paddy Phelan.
Upperchurch Drombane substitution. Number 17, Jared Grant replaces number 22, Tony Corbett.
Tony Corbett is replaced by number 17, Jared Grant. An excellent effort from Jared Grant. It might be an excellent effort. An excellent effort from Tony Corbett here today. He is being replaced by the former captain of Upperchurch. 2 minutes additional time here in the first phase of extra time. We'll have another 10 minutes plus whatever added on at the very end of it. And Tooreen are looking to play it forward now on the right hand side. This is Shane Boland, who has the ball in hand. Finds it to Brian Morley. Brian Morley jinks past 3 Upperchurch Drombane defenders and makes his way to the centre of the pitch. There was a potential shot from Stephen Coyne, but he's able to pass it over to Fergal Boland, who, fading to his left, is able to shoot it up his left. And it's a wondrous point from Fergal Boland. A 6th of the game for number 12. And that is an excellent point by Tooreen's captain. The Mayo senior footballer, who is addicted to the Gaelic Athletics Association. He goes to bed 2 hours early every night just to watch games. And I tell you what, it's paying its dividends, because this is a wondrous performance by him. Now pass is played over, and it is Aaron Ryan, the reintroduced Aaron Ryan, number 9, who's going to fire off his left, right on the sideline side, and that is an extra point. No, it's not an excellent point. I thought it was an excellent point, but it was just dragged to the right and wide. Once again, it was Bobby Douglas who determined that one, actually. The umpire then giving later confirmation. Douglas has the ball then just in the square, and he's going to fire the puck out long, right down the centre of Croke Park's field, just fading to the left, where Tooreen have got so many of their scores from. 22 points to 217 here to Upperchurch Drombane, leading by 1. As we're just about finished the first half of extra time. It's Upperchurch Drombane who have the ball in the centre of their park, but it is swiftly taken by Oisin Greeley. the 1 point in the semi-final. No score here, but Upperchurch Drombane's Jack Butler has the ball in hand once again, and it's found Conor Fahey, who's charging forward into the penalty area. It's a goal! It's a third goal of the final for Upperchurch Drombane. It's Conor Fahey who scored a goal in normal time. Scores a goal here again. It is kicked into the back of the net by Conor Fahey. No, it wasn't kicked in the end, sorry, because I was going to say I didn't think he could kick a goal, but it was sort of palmed into the net as the ball bobbled up. A beautiful finish from Conor Fahey. Nothing Bobby Douglas could do. And Upperchurch Drombane have the momentum here, and they go again. It is Conor Fahey himself who takes a long-range effort, but he was not able to score. And now Bobby Douglas fancies his chances, and he's going to use those fresh legs that he has to run up the right hand side of the pitch. Eventually passes it off to his defender Stephen Coyne, who gives it to number 5 Joe Boyle, who hasn't had as much of an impact in extra time as he had in normal time, scoring 3 points from play. And Upperchurch Drombane are going for a fourth. They're going for a fourth. They have the numbers. They have the numbers. It's a beautiful block from Tooreen, and Tooreen are in 6s and 7s at the back. And they've somehow come out with the ball. I have no idea how it's not 4-17 or at least 3-18. But Tooreen relatively survive a late onslaught from Upperchurch Drombane. Folks, we have the second half of extra time coming up soon. Something similar here again, you feel. And the referee, Cayman Flynn, throws the ball in.
Tooreen substitution. Number 9, Sean Kenny, has been replaced by number 30, Jake Glavey.
James Glavey has come on for Sean Kenny, and Upperchurch Drombane. Jack Butler has got his first of the game here and fires it over. He's been waiting for some time, to be fair, for Jack Butler. But that is an excellent score. Just when we were listening to the substitute, puck out played by Bobby Douglas, far and long. Tooreen are going to need a goal here if they want to avoid a second Croke Park heartbreak in 2 years. It's currently looking like the 2023 junior finalists, Eastkey, will lose, and the 2023 intermediate finalists, Tooreen, are going to lose, and that is a fate that Connacht would like to avoid altogether. But it is Upperchurch Drombane who have the ball in hand, and really their fitness is starting to kick in. It's another long distance effort, and that is going to fall straight over the bar, and Luke Shanahan is the most pumped man in Croke Park now. He's almost running with a limp, he's so tired, but a double fist pump to celebrate that long distance effort from the right hand side. Puck out going to be played here by Bobby Douglas. He's just teeing up his options. It is now 3-19 to 22 points. Tooreen trailed by 6 points in this All-Ireland final with a total of 8 minutes and 40 seconds to play. It's not looking good either, because Upperchurch Drombane have the ball on the right hand side. There was chance of the church, and Jack Butler is progressing inside the D, locks off a hand pass to Pat Ryan, who plays it back, and it'll be another long distance effort from Upperchurch, and that one is going to just go wide, unfortunately. It was from right on the sideline, a very difficult score to take, and it wasn't taken. So the puck out played by Pat Short once again, right to the left hand side, and once again it's going to be Upperchurch Drombane who come out with this. They're winning every single breaking ball. Tooreen are out on their feet. There's absolutely nothing they can do, and now it is number 14, Paul Ryan, who's progressing forward, and is still progressing forward, and eventually he's fouled inside the 2 point arc, about 25 metres or so from goal, and the referee is putting his hand in his pocket here, and this could be a yellow card, and this could be the game really. And it is a yellow card given to Oisin Greeley, who's had a phenomenal performance. Like, he's had an absolutely phenomenal performance at the back. Luke Shannon has scored 4 from frees in this half. There is a couple of Tooreen substitutes who are being prepared, and I see one of them is David Delaney, the other David Harrison, but Luke Shannon is going to try pop this one over. It's on the right hand side, about halfway between the goal posts and the sideline, about 28 or so metres out, and it's fired straight between the uprights. You would expect nothing less of the Upperchurch Drombane shooter.
Back on the Tooreen substitutions. Number 11, Brian Morley, has been replaced by number 19, David Delaney, and number 14, Shane Boland, by number 22, David Harrison.
Shane Boland and Brian Morley have been replaced in the attacking quarters by both David Harrison and David Delaney. So the two Davids are making their way onto the pitch for Tooreen, and they have taken up their attacking positions. David Harrison scored a crucial goal in the 2016 Mayo final, but they lost to Ballyhaunis, so he can score a goal if needs. And David Delaney, a 2007 member of the team. But as we're speaking about the two substitutes, Upperchurch have had another shot, but once again it is to the left and wide to no effect. David Delaney, cousins with Fionn Delaney on the team, and Owen Delaney. He came on as a sub in the Connacht final and has come on as a sub again. Tooreen have been fouled from their own puck out. That was Fergal Boland who was looking to progress forward. Bobby Douglas is coming up, and it is now a case of launch the ball in the box and hope it finds the back of the net. Bobby Douglas, who was crucial in getting this game to extra time, launches the luminous yellow slitter forward. It's not even reached the box, but it has fallen into a Tooreen hand by the looks of things, and that is the hand of Kenny Feeney, who has come back on the pitch. Oh no, it's not, sorry, apologies. It's Fionn Delaney who replaced Kenny Feeney from this distance. 15 and 18 look quite similar. There's a goal attempt, but it is hit. Goal attempt from the resulting free, but it hit the first Upperchurch defender, and now Upperchurch Drombane in the form of Jack Butler, who is now playing a midfielder role, are going to work the ball forward. It is brilliantly intercepted by one of the fresh legs of Tooreen, number 25. That is Pádraig Mooney, who is relatively fresh, came on at the start of extra time. Tooreen working the ball on the 45-metre line now. It is Owen Delaney who has fired it from distance. It has come off the post, and that is a horrid case of deja vu for Tooreen, who hit the post in an attempt to win this game earlier on today. We have 5 minutes left to go in Tooreen versus Upperchurch Drombane, and it is not quite the nail-biter we had at the end of regulation time. It is a 7-point game between the two sides, with the Tipperary team leading. And now it is once again Upperchurch Drombane who are attacking, and it's still, oh, it's off the post this time. That is the post that Liam Lavin hit in normal time. Bobby Douglas will swoop it up and will be able to play it down the right-hand side. It has found number 20, Sean Regan, who is firing it in forward to the full forward line. It is a case of launch long ball and hope for the best, hope for a prayer. And the prayer will not be answered by referee Cayman Flynn, who has given a free against Tooreen, won by Keith Ryan. This is going to be another long ball launch forward by Upperchurch Drombane, by Gavin Ryan. Quite similar to how he got this game to extra time. And I tell you what, he's going to be a hero in the dressing room, because it's looking like Upperchurch Drombane are going to crown themselves intermediate All-Ireland champions. The ball is fired forward into the box. They're looking for another goal. Oh! Are they? What a goal by Upperchurch Drombane! And it is Paddy Phelan, for the second time today, who rifles it into the back of the net. The ball was lofted into the box. He swung his hurley at it. The orange gripped hurley, and it has gone into the back of the net. And now you can start to relax Upperchurch Drombane, because it's going to need a miracle for Tooreen to get back into this one. It is a 10-point deficit. Paul Ryan comes on for Paul Sheehan. Paddy Phelan and Gavin Ryan, the heroes of the day. And Upperchurch Drombane are going on to All-Ireland success. Bobby Douglas isn't giving up, though. They never give up. Tooreen, they're firing it forward. And now, now they've got one. They've got one in very similar fashion. The ball was launched forward by the goalkeeper, and a hurl has been swung at it. It is Liam Lavin who gets his first score of the evening. It is a goal in an All-Ireland final nonetheless for Liam Lavin. It was a lovely strike from just outside the box. The ball bounced off the ground and Liam Lavin swung his hurley on it. It rifled along the ground into the bottom left-hand corner of the net, and it is a goal for Tooreen. We have had 5 goals in this All-Ireland final. They need, realistically, another 3. Will they get it? Liam Lavin launches the ball forward once again, and the Fox in the box is waiting for it. Oh my goodness me! It's another goal for Tooreen. This game is not over, folks. It is another goal for Tooreen, and it has everyone, including myself potentially, started calling this one too early. It is David Harrison, who I said scored a crucial goal in the Connacht final, who has put the ball in the back of the net here, in the Mayo final in 2016 in a loss to Ballyhaunis. Is it going to be another crucial goal here? Realistically, they need another one immediately. They do still trail this game by 4 points, and we have 1 minute and 20 seconds left of regulation time. But absolutely anything can happen in hurling. And Upperchurch Drombane have just got a bit of a kick in the teeth there and realise they need to probably keep the hammer on here. And now Tooreen have won the ball once again. It's right on the Cusack stand sideline. Ball somehow not bobbling out of play, and it is Upperchurch Drombane who have the ball in hand here. Tooreen looking to intercept. Tooreen have in fact intercepted, and I tell you what, David Harrison is causing some awful problems. It's a ferocious challenge on the Tooreen man attacking forward. Potentially a necessary one nonetheless. But time is still running out for Tooreen. Realistically, need to go for a goal here, and there is going to be a card handed out by the referee to Mikey Griffin, and it is a yellow. So Tooreen have the ball with 30 seconds left in normal time on the 45-metre line, and realistically they need a third consecutive goal in probably the space of 2 minutes realistically. Standing over the ball is number 18 Fionn Delaney, and he is going to just take his point here. A more sensible decision than what I was suggesting. And they've only got a minute here, have Tooreen. So it's gonna be a goal to level the All-Ireland final and bring it to a penalty shootout. Kieran Short once again is going to take a long time, no pun intended, at taking this puck out. Tooreen need this to find the hand of a green shirt, but or a blue shirt. I don't know where I'm getting green from, but it is played short, and Upperchurch Drombane still have the ball in hand, but it's a beautiful hook, and Tooreen have the ball, and it's played forward here, and it's played forward into the full forward line, and Tooreen have it on the edge of the 21. It's a hand pass, a lofted hand pass to Liam Lavin. It's a save by Kieran Short. Is it a save to win the All-Ireland? We will have to wait and see. The ball is launched into the full forward line to find the safe hands of Jack Butler, and Jack Butler is advancing forward. He wants more, he wants glory. Upperchurch Drombane fire, saved by the goalkeeper. There's a matter of 20 seconds left. Bobby Douglas fires it out of the square, and there's going to be one more chance for Tooreen here. This would be the stuff of fairy tales. Fired forward into the square, needs to find a Tooreen hand. It has. Tooreen are in the box. They've pulled on it, but it's not found the back of the net. It's gone out of play. Is the referee Cayman Flynn? No, it's gone out for a 45. I can't believe it. This is one of the most dramatic games of sport you will ever witness. It's the 10th of January. There's nothing going on in the sporting sphere. But I tell you what, it's all happening here at Crow Park. 81.5 minutes played in the All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling Final. The ball is going to be lofted in by David Delaney. It needs to find the back of the net to force a penalty shootout. Here we go, ball is played in, it's lofted into the square. Is there enough on it? No, can't quite find. The referee could blow it up any second, but it is in the hands of number 12. It is fired, and it's gone over the crossbar. That might be enough. It's not. That might be it for Upperchurch. It's not enough for Tooreen, and Upperchurch might have just found success. It was their first year winning the Munster Championship, and it's all over. Upperchurch Drombane, Liam Carroll's men have won the All-Ireland Intermediate Hurling Championship final in a Crow Park classic. They've only won one tip senior title in their lifetime. That was in 1894. It's a very rural parish, 1,500 people. It's been less successful than a lot of its neighbours, but these men of Upperchurch Drombane